It's been a very difficult year and a half. People's patience has certainly been tested between lockdowns, vaccines, masks, and an overwhelming amount of rules. If there's one thing that we've learned, it's that our faith can certainly help us through. Church leaders have been stepping up to help as many people as they have turned to their faith. Pastor Darrell Scott, pastor at the New Spirit Revival and CEO of National Diversity Coalition for Trump and author of Nothing to Lose, Unlikely Allies in the Struggle for a Better Black America. Pastor Scott, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So what have you been hearing from people over the last year and a half?
Well, in perilous times, we are living in perilous times, chaotic times, unprecedented times. People oftentimes utilize their faith as a recourse to give them a comfort level and the stability to make it through these perilous times. And, faith is either a belief system, but in the ultimate analysis, faith is actually simply a confidence and a trust in God. We identifying the God of the Bible as the God that we believe is the one true and living God. And we put our trust in God, that he can keep us during these times. He can keep us from danger, but he can also keep us through danger. And so even in looking at something like COVID, there are a number of us that are believing that God will keep us from catching COVID. But if we do catch it, God will keep us through that and bring us out to our ultimate healing.
Do you feel that people turn to faith during depressing times versus, happy times? Because it's, again, a lot of people, I talked to, throughout the pandemic said they started going back to church or they started watching church online. And because some churches had to do online services, more people actually took part in it because they could do it, from their home.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, that is part of the human condition, human nature, to trust in a higher power when the lower powers are ineffective. We've learned that we can't trust in government. We can't trust in systems. We can't trust in man. A lot of the things that were once bedrocks of society are not those bedrocks anymore. But the one constant has been God, and the one constant always shall be God. And once again, we revert back to our spiritual roots by going to the God that we believe will hear us and do something about the situation that we're in individually and collectively.
Absolutely. I think, too, while people go to faith during difficult times, some people tend to maybe lose their faith during difficult times. What would you say to those folks?
Well, some people will look for a reason to charge God for, well, if God is God, why is he letting this happen? And why is he doing this? And so they'll abandon the faith that they had because their faith was not really concrete. It wasn't as strong as it should have been. Once again, faith in a system is one thing, but faith in God is another. And God is a constant. The Bible says he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And we can trust and believe in him that ultimately he's going to make a way even when there seems to be no way.
We talk about adults a lot and turning to their faith, but something that we don't talk a lot about are kids and how important it is for kids to turn to their faith. And obviously they learn from their parents. I think that, for the viewers out there who have maybe gone back and forth, if I'm not sure if I should go back to church or, oh, well, we have this soccer event or we have this because, life gets in the way. What would you say to viewers, about how important it is to get your kids involved and to have them believe in their own faith?
Well, I mean, it's very, very important. The Bible says if you train up a child in the way it should go, when it's older, it won't depart. And I'm fortunate enough to have my daughter and my grandchildren. They haven't been in any trouble. They've never been in trouble with the police. They haven't used drugs or alcohol because they were raised in church and had godly principles instilled in them. And listen, what's the worst that can happen? You go to church, how long is the service? An hour? You don't have an hour? Jesus said, could you not pray with me for 1 hour? The worst that can happen is you sit there and if you don't like what you hear, then just don't go back the next week. But there's nothing wrong with going to a place where you sit there and they tell you, trust God, believe in God. God is there for you. God will help you. There's nothing wrong with that message that Jesus Christ can deliver us from the evil of this present time. There's nothing wrong with that message.
You talk about just an hour a week, right?
Yeah.
Can you think about how much people are on their phones and social media in just a day?
And now you don't even have to leave home. Once again, with these online services, you can just pop it on and watch it. There are 168 hours in a week. You can't give one to God? Watch.
Yes.
I tell you what, dedicate your life to God. Give God 6 straight months of your life, and I bet you your life will change for the better.
I love it. I think you're right. Pastor Darrell Scott, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me. God bless you.
Of course, same to you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.